All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of the 2023 season here on the Coach Shawn Witten Show, brought to you by WBEJ Radio. I'm Stacy Street, along with my partner, Tony Briggs, and head football coach for your Elizabethan Cyclones, Shawn Witten. Coach Witten, we'll kind of recap last week, and we talked about it. Science Hill, first game, all the uncertainty, and I've got one word for you, and you can take it from there. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Tell us what your thoughts are about last week's game.
Really, just the first thing that comes to mind, Stacey, it made just a collective team win. All three phases, our energy, our enthusiasm, our effort. We won the game offensively, defensively, and special teams. Our offensive line went through the entire game, didn't have a penalty. Did a great job of protecting and establishing a run game early. But collectively, a team effort, and from the offensive line to the backs, the quarterbacks, receivers, to the defensive line, linebackers, secondary, and we did a fantastic job in all three areas.
And I told you this after the game. Everybody was kind of just so happy and relieved and happy and just so proud. I told you that the thing that stood out to me is a lot of people contributed, as you said, but there were no stars. That was truly a team effort by the Cyclones.
It was. It was very complimentary football. It was very, probably the biggest game as far as being unselfish. We just went to different people, stepped up. We had a lot of unsung heroes. We had nobody that really kind of stood out, one phase or one group than the other. It was a collective team defense. We had receivers downfield blocking on some touchdowns. We had multiple guys just helping us out on both sides of football, which was really good. But I think one of the things that stood out for me was our conditioning was top notch. We played fast, we played physical, we kind of out hustled them in some ways, and then in critical situations, I felt like our execution was really spot on. We scored 2 touchdowns inside their own 30-yard line off of field position areas, but overall our special teams was really good. And then just the one area that we thought they were going to try to do was really try to challenge us down the field. They didn't attempt to pass over 15 yards. I really thought our secondary did a phenomenal job. They kept throwing screens, and we kept getting there and tackling it. So it was a really good job by our team, and really good job by just coming out and really, playing hard, yes, but our execution was pretty spot on for the first game.
And I'll let Tony talk a little bit about the offense. You're talking about they didn't try and attempt any pass more than 15 yards. Secondary played lights out. Of course, Eli Blevins' interception return, pick 6 for a touchdown. But part of that was also that defensive line, the way they played, in your linebackers. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, they did it. Science Hill had a really good, offensive line coming back, really good run game. We knew they were going to try to get Schwartz running the ball a little bit from the queue, but we just did a really good job of just, our defensive ends, Mason, obviously, and Ben were very active. I thought Eli, Guess, and Landon, being a year older, was very mature, made a lot of plays. I thought Justice, being a young sophomore, first time seeing, in a Mike True backer, did a really good job. And then, just creating those many turnovers. We talked about being an opportunistic defense. We had 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, which resulted in points. But thought our secondary really played well. But guys like Eli Blevins. It was Cam Baker's first time playing corner. I thought he did a phenomenal job there. Zach Wallen did a phenomenal job at safety. So we had a lot of guys playing a lot of plays on both sides of the ball. And with that, we had 3 safeties, we had 3 corners, working back both sides of the ball. I thought we did a good job, substituting, getting guys in, staying fresh. So it was just, we put pressures on Schwartz at times. But we knew they got some momentum. We knew they were going to kind of make a run at it, and I thought we did a good job of kind of shutting that down. I thought 2 big areas, key to the game, was when they went to the Wildcat situations. That was obviously a big, not giving them the first down there, and then I'm not sure down there in the end zone, we did a good job of stuffing them at the goal line.
And you're being politically correct. I'm not sure that was even a touchdown.
Right.
I understand. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I agree. Now let's flip over to the offensive side of the ball. The first play that sticks out in my mind is opening play. We're going down, Bird fumbles it. Eli hustles, jumps on the ball, gets the ball, seemed like with his effort and that hustle, that sort of calmed us down a little bit, and we just methodically went down.
Well, I think sometimes the old saying is, being at the right place at the right time. It doesn't happen by coincidence. Receivers downfield blocking, trying to help the running backs out there was just big for us. I mean, that was as big as a turning point in the game as any. Just kept momentum, kept the drive going, and then, when you score on the first drive, I mean, the excitement and energy from every one of our players and the sideline. I mean, it was incredible, and that really set the stage for us. And then, on that drive, we executed a 3rd and 6, got the first down there, and then on the way through, we got the ball inside the 20-yard line. It took us 2 plays to score. We used all 3 running backs. We used all of our receivers. We used Cam at H-back. We also used 33 at H-back. We brought Mason Ball at H-back. So we just got a lot of people contributing, which has kind of been different, And I feel like guys were able to stay more in the flow of the game, kind of stay pumped on both sides. I mean, when guys were coming out and coming back in, they were kind of more into the game. So I think some of the, more coaching tips, quick adjustments, and get the guys back, on the sideline and being more attentive to understanding, when Ben Adams got that strip fumble, like, we knew we had to go score right there. When Luke Whaley got the punt return, like, we knew we had to go score right there. So just overall, I felt like it's been a long time since we felt like we were just moving in the right direction from a total team effort standpoint.
It was 180 degrees from last year. If they don't get the fumble, if they recover the fumble, we may be talking different. But it seemed like, as you said, you got to be in the right place at the right time. We'll take a lucky bounce. And then let's flip over. Ryan has said it for all week long. One play I also want to talk about is the bubble screen with Gerard. We're going toward, it's in the 3rd quarter, going toward the field house. Throw a bubble at the loop. Gerard takes his kid, takes him, blocks him all the way back past the play, and he picks up about 15 yards.
Well, I mean, I think, that there's a couple places stand out, but I think all the way throughout the game, I mean, we have guys playing complementary football. There's that play, gets us to a first down, which was big there in the 3rd quarter. And then another play was obviously, when we did get the Ben Adams forced fumble, we're back 4th and 12. Cam does a good job of holding the linebackers to get dry in behind. I mean, those things like that, those are the things we preach and preach and preach. And that's when you guys sign a good football team, is the guys are listening to the message. A lot of times it takes you a couple weeks to kind of find that groove. Luckily for us, we came out of the gates on fire on that. So, we got an opportunity to make some plays, to be a really strong football team. The ability to move people around and line up people in different positions. I mean, you're talking a lot by a lot of people to try to get that execution done. And so, we got to do a better job of kind of finishing the game at times. We didn't really want the defense to go back out there and finish that, but I thought collectively, overall, we did a pretty good job executing.
And finally, before we wrap it up on this first segment, the thing that Stacy talked about last week was special teams play. It seemed like the kickoffs were not in the middle, they were over to the side. But what I want to talk about is the punting game. We had 4 punts, and 3 of them was inside the 10, down inside the 10.
We've worked the special teams quite a bit. We've got a lot of starters playing on special teams. We talked about last week, one of the keys was, we wanted to get key guys on that. With the 2 punt returns we had, one of them, they snapped it over the punter's head, was in that big there. And then obviously, in the 3rd quarter, we came a hair of scoring on that one. But, we've been preaching, getting that ball to our punt returners and getting good field position. But we had 4 touchbacks, was really good. You mentioned 2 punts inside the 10-yard line. Field position was critical there. We just had 1 miscue on the last extra point where we let a guy come free. But, those are big areas. And then we've preached about it. I mean, we got guys that can field. We made 2 smart plays on fair catches. We'll just take, we'll take the ball there and just kind of be able to kind of, get in our offense. And, we'll learn and grow from some situations there. But I thought overall the kickers did a great job in doing their jobs. I thought Caleb did a phenomenal job kicking off and punting. really feel good in a lot of areas. Just how well we played and how well we executed. It looked like we were having a lot of fun, you know, just our guys have worked really hard for that moment, and I felt like you know, it was a big reward going out there and playing the way we did.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the first half of the Coach Shawn Whitten Show as we recap Science Hill. When we come back, we'll preview tonight's contest as we travel down to Morristown to take on the Morristown West Trojans. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Coach Shawn Whitten Show. Coach, we're going to play Morristown West. This is only the 8th time we played them. We're 3-4 against them overall, but it's a team that we have scrimmaged for the last 5 or 6 years. It seems like we always play them down there, and every time we go, it's always been hot and it's always been a chance of a storm. Tell us a little bit about what we expect, what you're expecting coming in from Morristown West on the defensive side of the ball first.
Well, a lot of people don't realize how big, they got 2 schools in one town. One's a 6A school, one's a 5A school. Morristown West enrollment's about 1,600 enrollment. But they are a very big team. They got big linebackers that kind of stand out. They're more of a run-oriented team. They got a lot of people back. They got the quarterback back. They got some key returnees at the tight end, H-back positions, a couple guys in the secondary. So they do play a very tough non-conference schedule. I mean, they play us, they play Greenville, they play Science Hill. So they play some tough teams, and you got a lot of respect for Coach. Alvin does a great job of making sure he plays quality people. We got kind of lucky in this game, Tony. We've been scheduled for several years. We needed a really good game right here after Science Hill. We felt like Morristown has got a great stadium. The stands are right close to on top of you, a lot like our stadium, but we feel like it's a great place to play. And we're going to get really good competition. So we've really enjoyed scrimmage them. We felt like we learned a lot when we did scrimmage them. It was physical, it was tough. They got some speed. So it's going to be a really tough contest for us. Obviously, the heat's been really tough this week, and we know tonight it's supposed to be hotter today than it has been earlier in the week. But we feel like it gives us another challenge. It's another big game on our schedule. And we've not played Morristown West in 18 years, and I feel like this is a great opportunity for tonight because this is a crowd that really hasn't seen the Cyclones play before. It's kind of an uncommon opponent, maybe get some people scrimmaging, but tonight we get an opportunity to really showcase, what our team, what our program's about, and kind of in front of a new setting, a new fans. I mean, Morristown West is going to get their first look at Elizabeth Cyclones in a long time.
You put on the film, first thing that steps out to my mind is looking at their defensive side. They've got some tendencies and similarities of what we just played. The 2 outside linebackers, number 6 and number 9, are very active. They're taller, a little bit taller than what Johnson City had, but they're very aggressive.
Well, they are a really good defense. They very fundamental, very sound, very physical. They got some big guys. They're long and tall, athletic. They're going to really do a good job making it tough on us. A year ago, they took Greenville to the fourth quarter of the 2 minutes to play there. So I mean, they're used to playing really good teams, and so it's just another good opportunity for us. And we've worked really hard this week on keep doing some of the things we've done, adding some new wrinkles. Expect tonight for us to really try to keep it balanced, running and throwing it. We've worked really hard in a preseason of trying to get the ball and use multiple formations. So we feel like we got a really good game plan. And then one thing that stood out last week is we went over a couple plays that we wanted to do early. We really executed those plays really good. I thought that when we got down against Science Hill, some of the trap plays that we run really good. That we're on point, we're attentive. We executed the game plan. I see the same thing happening tonight. We got some plays that, if we can get those executed, we can really turn this game into the way we want it. So I'm really excited about that. Defensively, we do have our hands full. This team's a running football team. They use some wide splits. They got a really good tight end and H-back they do. They got a second running back that's a second effort type guy. quarterback that's got a really good arm that comes in as for his senior year. So it's a really good, tough challenge for us. Really going to another tough place to play tonight, and should be an exciting football game.
Last question before I hand it to Stacy. What do you want to see offensively? Your biggest jump, everybody always says, all the coaches say, the biggest jump is from week 1 to week 2. What do you want to see offensively from this unit?
Well, I think, we did it. Once we got the lead last week, I felt like, with the young quarterbacks, we made some plays when we needed to. We tried to take a couple shots down the field a little bit. I thought the play clock not working really hurt us at times. I thought we could really picked up the tempo and really took some more shots. But I really feel like, tonight's opportunity could be getting more people involved. I think we've got some plays that we can do that we can spread the football around a little bit more, to do a better job of finishing the game with Jay Bird a little bit to kind of keep our defense a little bit more rested on the sideline, to really do a good job of, play action pass as much as we ran the football on some counters and, some trap plays. I feel like that if we can get the play action pass game going, that it could really be an advantage for us. But I feel like we've got a strong skill group that can really make some plays, really create some opportunities for us to push the ball down the field at times. And then also I think that with our 3 running backs, we can do a good job of keeping people off balance with some quick hitters and then power runs and then, keeping guys fresh in the game. So really we're looking for a more collective team effort on offensive end. Hopefully our offensive line can stay in check and pick up some blitzes so our quarterback's going to have time to push the ball down the field.
You talked a little bit about this as the first time we played them in a long time. This is one of the old IMAC schools. And they, more than any other league at this end of the state, seem to have the cycles where they go through and it's either Jeff County's really good, East and West and Morristown kind of flip-flop back and forth. Greenville's an old IMAC school that's there. You kind of get the feeling that Morristown West thinks, okay, this is our cycle here. And coming off a big rivalry win off of their hometown rival of Morristown East, you think that you see an attitude in this Morristown West thing like, come on, Cyclones, we haven't seen you in a long time. We got something to show you.
Well, I think, in the newspaper article after the game, the coach gave us a big-time compliment. He talked about us coming in with the state championship caliber type program, and that they were going to be really ready. So I think they know, and I think that, we showed our guys a lot of the Greenville game from last year, just the early miscues and then, misexecution, to really went all the way down to the last 2 minutes of the game. But they're going to do a good job. We've scrimmaged them before, but I think our guys understand that this is another big opportunity for us to really showcase our program, showcase what kind of team we are, how good we can play, bounce back, and I think that Morristown West knows that they're going to have a good week of practice and going to give us their best shot.
And then the follow-up to that is, it can get bigger, but it doesn't get a lot bigger at this time of the year to come off a big win like we had. And as Tony said, that week 2 is where you see growth, let down, whatever it may be. What have you done this week to say, okay, guys, you did very good, but this is a new week? How do you handle that as a coach?
Well, I think
especially after a game like that.
A lot of our guys have been around me long enough that they know just getting these older guys. We got 19 seniors, which really helps, but just really focus on make sure that we're taking one day at a time. And we've got such a great group, that if we don't look too far ahead and 1 week at a time, one game at a time, one day at a time, that we can really maximize each and everything that we can do. And so I'm just looking for, these guys have been a pleasure to coach that, all the way through the summer till now. We've set the bar really high for ourselves, and we can only just get better, and so just focus on the small details and trying to take it, just insert the game plan, one day at a time. And the biggest thing allows I really feel, I try to express to the guys that it's their football team, it's their time to have the voice, and it's their time to understand, okay, what we can do, what we can't do, what's too much. But, it really comes down to, it doesn't come down to the plays that we run. It comes down to our football players and our team. And we got a bunch of great individuals that can go out and make a lot of great plays. So when their number's called, they got to go execute. And so I really feel like we got a strong enough group that offense, defense. I think every one of our players had a moment last week, and that's all I feel like they needed to kind of take off. It was just kind of one play that they needed. A lot of our guys had a lot of those plays, and so I really think the confidence is really high. And I think if we can get the ball rolling now, come out with a big win tonight. I really think there's opportunities for us to really make a lot of plays. Defensively, if we can just. I talked to our secondary, about how much points do we need to give up? Let's say 10 points, a touchdown and maybe a field goal. There's opportunity for us to be really, really good and really special. And then, in a couple of weeks when we come back home, for our first home game, and we got an opportunity to kind of, really be in a good place. So tonight's a big game. Going to be a tough contest, and I really think that if we do face some adversity tonight, things don't go our way. I think we got a mature bunch that can handle that.
Coach Whitten, as always, thank you. And it's easier to do those things coming off a win, too, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be our last word before tonight's game with Coach Shawn Whitten. Coach, thank you as always. Tony and I will be back after these words from our sponsors with our pregame show and then a 7:30 kickoff tonight, coming to you from Hamlin County as the Cyclones invade Morristown tonight to face the Morristown West Trojans. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.